Welcome back to the gruesome garage. Today's another great day. We've gotten started on the Cherokee, and we got the first piece of the puzzle done here. We put ourselves a nice little center console, and that's gonna be the main area for all the gauges, switches, that type of thing. But it's also gonna serve another purpose, which is hiding the Megasquirt box and the relay box and bus bars, you know, the whole nine. So now that we've got that mounted, we can pull it off. I'll show you guys how I mounted it on here, and I'll show you what I made it out of. It was actually really easy. Piece of scrap metal I got from Dr. Electrician over here, and I'll show you just how easy it is. Really easy, guys. Bunch of sounds. It's that simple. Got ourselves a couple tabs up here that I welded on. A little one down here I got to finish welding. And some self-tappers. So if you guys are trying to make a cheap, simple dash, center console, whatever you want to call it.
The key is finding a contractor that's getting rid of these stupid commercial kitchen vents. So it was off of a kitchen hood, and it's real stainless, and you know, we were thinking about going to the hardware store or something, and just grabbing a piece of sheet metal. And then I realized, I picked up this scrap the other day. Why not just cut this up? And honestly, it's pre-shaped, and it seems to work pretty well for us. Pulling apart the bullshit. Getting sick of this garbage. You know, just pulling apart stuff like this.
Taking off the
one single
coil
ignition coil to the distributor. We're getting that off because we are putting on LS packers. We're gonna have 6, not just 1, and no garbage distributor anymore. No more places for water to get into, blah blah blah. And we can screw around with our ignition timing now. With the MS3, we don't have to shave down where the distributor sits and twist it a little, like a couple of morons.
And this coil was ran by the MSD
6AL2.
And that's how everybody asked me, how do you do the 2-step? That's how. If you don't want to change the computer, you just want a little ignition, little 2-step action.
.6AL2, boys.
It's the way to go. Here's my up pipe. I know it's a mystery, but it fits.
Coil McCoil.
Yeah, but what do we got going on over here?
Well, boys and girls, I think we're rigging up a temporary solution for the Matt and Jeff gas station over here, coming out of the Jeep itself. We left the fuel pump wiring, and we need some fuel for the Plymouth, and guess what's got plenty of gas? So let's try this out. So we got the old power source ready to go. Let's see if it works. It works.
Perfect. Best way to empty the old fuel.
So what's up, guys? We just got finished installing these two main boys right here. This is the MS3X, and this is something from DIY Auto Tune. It is a relay board. It helps out a lot with making it simpler when you decide to rip everything out of a vehicle. If you are, you know, converting Megasquirt to something that already has EFI and all the fuses and everything ready to go, you just have to patch in. You don't have to run this, but we decided to rip everything out and start from scratch, so we wanted to make our lives a little easier. This connects to one of these connectors over here, and then you have most of your input signals and a couple of your output signals. It has like constant power for the injectors. It has the fuel pump relay and a couple other relays on it. So it's a great little box. It works well, and we also decided that this location would be the best because it's hiding behind our sheet metal box that we made, and that's where most of the switches and a couple of the analog gauges are going to go, so we can house everything, and then we can hide all the wiring that we're going to put in the dash. Also, we decided that, like before, we had the battery behind, so it'll just make it easier to run all the power through. We'll have a main disconnect on the side just in case, like on drag racers and stuff, just a big switch just in case anything happens. And another reason why we chose this spot is because there's so much access easily available on this side too for, you know, getting to the motor with all the wires. So that's where we're at.
Let's go take a look at some other goodies we got. So a big thing with this is you need injectors. Those factory injectors are just not going to cut it. So we got ourselves a set of 80-pound EV1 injectors. Should work good for now, but we'll see. Didn't spend too much money. Got them on eBay. One of my favorite places to shop. Another thing we got is some LS2 truck style coils. Supposedly they're one of the best to run with Megasquirt. So we'll give those a shot. Also, another excellent eBay item. These actually weren't cheap, so hopefully they work out pretty well. We got ourselves a set of both wire looms here for the Megasquirt, one for a lot of the inputs, and then another one from the box to everything else. So we just have extra wires. It's easier to use this wire than to, you know, hack together all your own wire. This is all labeled every foot. It just really helps you keep track of everything.
If you're like us and forget, you know, a week down the road what you did to your vehicle and say, oh, I'm gonna remember, and you go back to it and you stare at it like, come on, Jeff, what'd you do there? So that especially makes it a lot easier. You know, we can just, if anything happens, we can just go through the wire. It's already labeled, it's already ready for us, you know.
A lot easier for troubleshooting.
Dummy proof.
So another thing we got here, let's pull that out. We got ourselves a nice shiny fuel rail. So the factory fuel rail is all right, but
this gives us a
like
lot
to have
more
some
options.
some nice AN fittings.
You know, we can eliminate this. We can put a cap on it and run straight AN fittings through there, or we can get a quick connect adapter. But it's nice because we can run, you know, rail pressure. We can do a lot more with fuel pressure regulators, return systems. It's just a nicer setup, and it looks so much prettier.
Yeah, we got to dress up that engine bay a little bit. Now that we got a couple parts in, we're starting to get ready for wiring. We're gonna slap this stuff in and
see how we're gonna wire it, see how everything fits. You know, we're gonna have to make something for these LS coils to fit on. We're thinking about throwing them up on the valve cover. I don't think we really have that much room by the firewall, and then we have, I don't know, the less long wires the better, so closer to the spark the better.
We got the fuel rail mounted up, looking pretty mint. Bolts right in for the most part, nothing to it but to do it. Got our new injectors in, got all our pigtails on the injectors, and those are ready to be wired up. So now we're on to the next step, mounting these coils. Now, there's not really room here because of the turbo, and then they stick out, you know, above the hood. And I'd like to be able to put a hood on this in the future. And the problem is putting them up here, now we gotta run wires all over the place, and it just becomes a lot messier. And also, we were thinking about putting it on the valve cover like this.
Doesn't look pretty either.
Exactly. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna take this whole bundle apart and mount them individually right above each spark plug, or maybe like on the flat on the valve cover. We'll take these bad boys apart and see what works best. We took apart the coil pack, if that's what you want to call it. They're all individual coils, and it looks like this might be the best place to put it. Right on top of the valve cover. Just shoot the wires right down to the spark plug. And then on the other side, we can wire all these clips and run them with the injector wires. So hopefully help us keep it a little neater, give us room. The only issue is, you know, your throttle cable is in the way a little bit here. We'll work around it. Got these stupid PCV garbage. Who needs that? Another nice thing about these coils is they come with the 4-pin connector, the pins, they're weatherproof connectors. So that also helps us a lot, makes it a lot easier.
So if you guys want to tune in next time and see this thing getting started to be wired up and a little more fab work, as I would call it, to get it ready, then tune in and find out if we can actually get this thing running off a Megasquirt or not.